boy Jake Capone back at you again, episode 5, No Emotion Podcast. But I'm not alone.
When you see Jake Capone, you know you're gonna see David. Boy, huh? Tell them what's going on today, Jake Capone.
Man, we got a treat today.
We got a special guest.
No hood niggas today.
we have a bougie special guest.
We don't have Bebe today. Bebe and Chris, he ain't here.
Tell them who in the building, man.
We have a young lady who I met a while ago, and she impacted me in certain ways. Aisha?
No. If we gonna do it, we're gonna do it right.
So what was wrong with it?
Give her them first 2 letters now.
We got Dr. Aisha Kid. How are you, Miss Kid?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Good. You sitting on the couch, that means you got to have something on your mind.
You got to be somebody.
All right, well, can you run down your pedigree to us?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm Dr. Aisha Kid. I'm an optometrist. I'm from Vincent, Alabama. It's a small country town near Birmingham, southeast of Birmingham, actually. Went to a small high school, graduated number 1 in my class.
Number 1?
Yep. Then I
Light flex.
went to the University of Montevallo for my undergraduate degree and UAB for optometry school.
So I'm going to switch this up
Okay.
from the beginning. We're going to jump back into all the information and the general stuff.
Okay.
But I hear you're a little AKA.
I am.
Tell me about your AKA journey.
Oh, I crossed AKA fall 2004, the Mu chapter at University of Montevallo. Currently, I'm in the graduate chapter in Mobile, Delta Theta Omega.
Okay.
And it's the first Black Greek
So I
sorority.
feel, hold on now, Jacob Ball. I think it's gonna be a lot of flexing on this podcast.
Take up for that.
Hey, I think it's gonna be a lot of flexing. Now, the first, repeat that again. The first what?
The first Black Greek sorority.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're a part of that.
I am.
So what made you choose AKA?
Actually, I have family members, so it was.
You kind of like legacy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Kind of.
yeah. If you had a choice.
A choice. I would have made the first decision.
Ooh,
again.
She is really flexing right now.
That was a loaded. What could she say?
She really popping right now. This how you feel today?
I'm cool.
So they say them AKAs a little bougie now.
Oh.
And you are sitting there. You got your your hands at rest. Them shoulders sitting high.
I do. Well,
You's a lady.
I am a lady.
She's a lady.
She's a Southern Belle.
But we were talking earlier, and Joy did tell me that you were a doctor, and I want to applaud you for embarking on that journey, because I know it is hard, being a woman and being Black. So, as a double minority, how was that journey for you to wake up one day and say, I want to be a doctor, and then actually follow throughout that process?
So I always wanted to help people growing up. Really, if you told me you wanted to be an accountant, I wanted to be an accountant. If you want to be a nurse, I think I can do that too. And that's kind of what I did throughout my high school years. When I graduated high school, I wanted to be a pediatrician. That's what I was set on. Went to college, took some biology classes, and they were a little tough. I ended up doing a medical program, a summer program at UAB actually, to prep me for medical school. And it was kind of tough. So after that, I talked to one of my advisors at school, and he encouraged me to just shadow different doctors to make sure that that's what I wanted to do. And the first doctor that I shadowed was an optometrist.
Oh, okay. And you kind of fell in love with it.
I did. When I visited that optometrist, he just had good bedside manner and great relationships with his patients, and that's really what stuck out to me. Not that he was making people see and things like that.
So if I talk to your patients today, what would they say about you?
Oh man, she is great.
I'm one of her patients.
Huh?
I'm one of her patients.
Okay. Well, that's even better, because you can't lie to me now.
Right.
So Joe, how is she as a doctor?
Oh
Man, let me tell you, when I first went in, I had a prescription from another optometrist. It had ran out. She came over one day and she said, "Let me see the prescription that you have." I told her I had a doctor. This expired.
Straight like that.
Yeah, you can't just give me some good shit. No, you got to come out and redo the exam because your prescription could change over time. So I went down and I did the test, and I was getting kind of thrown off with the test, because you think you see better with this one, and she'll put another one in front of you. And I think this one's better now. So we spent a long time trying to get it right.
Yeah.
And I got all these HD TVs, and ain't none of them in HD no more. So when I finally got my glasses and got home, it's like, man, I got for real 4K TVs.
I can see clearly now. The rain is
gone. It's gone for real, bro. So my personal experience with her was great.
Yeah.
And everybody that I can recommend to her, I do. You want to tell them where you are just for the heck of it?
Oh, sure. I practice at Southern Eye Group. We have like 6 locations now, but I'm at the Foley location Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The Mobile location on Thursday mornings, and Fairhope on Fridays.
See, all over the place.
I'm about to say you moving a lot right now.
Yeah.
You moving, but it seems like you enjoy what you're doing because I'm looking at you talking about it, and I see a big smile on your face. So is it? Because a lot of people say, if you enjoy what you're doing, you'll never work a day in your life.
Right,
so do you wake up feeling like I got to go to work, or is it just like I'm going to do what I really love doing?
I get to go and do what I really enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And meet different people every day and touch them in some kind of way.
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing that stood out to me when she was telling her story about how she got involved, initially you didn't really know what you wanted to do. You knew you wanted to further your education, but you really didn't know where you wanted to go.
Right.
So to all the kids who have a desire to go to school, should they be concerned if they're into their senior year, so to speak, or their junior year and they hadn't decided exactly what they want to do? Should they be concerned?
Not necessarily. I would still pursue your education though, and I think it'll come. I think if I had to encourage someone younger is to find out what your purpose is and run with that.
Because sometimes people swap majors and they get discouraged because it ain't coming fast enough.
Right.
But if you're pursuing your education, the process is just as important as what you end up doing.
Right.
Because you have to make a commitment and stick to it.
That's true.
And you'll end up in the right place.
Right.
Because God don't make mistakes.
Right.
So that's what I caught from what she said. I noticed that she kind of moved around until she got what she really felt. And you'll actually get influence from people around you if you keep your ears and eyes open. They'll guide you. You'll see something in somebody else that makes you, this is what I need to be doing.
You can learn from a lot of other people's journey.
Yeah.
Like that's why I said, like, if me and you in the kitchen and you touch that stove and it burn you, I don't gotta touch it for me to know it'll burn me too. I know it'll get me too. But even in that same instance of I'm going through a slate of adversity, and I know you've overcame that slate of adversity, I can look at you sometimes and see how you overcame it and adapt it to my life also. It don't have to be the same exact way, but if step 1 for you can help me get to step 2, I'll be a fool not to pay attention.
That's it.
I'll be a fool. It'll go straight over my head. But even with that though, besides the doctor, who are you?
Who am I?
The woman, not the doctor. Let's get into you, really you.
I'm a Christian, number 1.
Okay.
So I take pride in that. I'm fun, easygoing, a little bit introverted.
A little bit.
But I like to laugh and have a good time. It really don't take much for me. Just laughing and good food and good time. I'm with it.
And you relax.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Hey, that's what the AKs say. That's what the AKs do. They have a good time and they eat a lot.
Now, let me tell you.
Okay.
I don't,
No slight.
You kind of got to persuade me today.
Oh.
Now, the Frogs got one more time.
Oh.
They got one more time. My leash is really, really short. So I need to feel a certain type of energy from you today for I need to just that. I need that. Oh, they're not all the same. That's what I just need to. At the end of the day, I need to be able to do that.
Oh. Okay.
And just say they're not all the same.
Okay.
That's it. So I'm gonna feel you out though.
Okay.
I'm gonna feel you out. So there's a lot of pressure on you.
Okay. That's fine.
Pressure busts pipes, they say.
Pressure makes diamonds.
Ooh. That's a quote.
I like that.
That's a quote. Hey, but before we go too much further, we need to pay a bill.
Let's do it.
Dr. Kid.
Yes.
And it amazes me to be able to say that to somebody that looks like me. Dr. Kid. I ain't got no partners that's doctors.
I ain't got no partners that doctors either.
You know, so this is a privilege. Hey, and check this out. She's actually my neighbor. So I'm a long way from preaching. I can walk the house. You know what I'm talking about? That's a beautiful thing.
Hey, for real.
I live in the same neighborhood
as a doctor.
So that's a big deal.
Hey, boy, you made it.
Yeah, for real. It's dirt roads where I come from, like for real.
Okay.
So, Dr. Kid.
Yeah.
We appreciate you taking time and sharing your journey with us, and I'm sure you're inspiring young girls. Actually, people. Period. Because
I'm about to say people, not even. It's not a sex thing.
It's not. But you know, when we was in school, there was plenty of women who had those straight A's and that had that disposition. But I think they feel like, especially when you come from where we come from, that's kind of a dream. It feels like that's unobtainable. People say, when I grow up, I want to be a doctor, and they end up being nurses. So it's very rare that you find somebody that finished it. So that's admirable.
Yeah.
And I know there was probably times when you just thought this is just too hard. One thing that I wanted to point out, how hard was it being online in your classes? Did they suffer?
Undergraduate, not too much. I kind of handled undergraduate school pretty
So you
well.
were smart.
Yeah.
She was smart. She said,
I'm about to say like
Yeah.
that wasn't no trouble for me, my
If
dude.
it would have been, I had to pledge during optometry school load, one of them would have had to give. Yeah.
Well, everything works the way it's supposed to
Yeah,
work.
it does.
Well, the Greek thing, you were working in that? Was that part of the college experience? Is that something that it would have been the same if you didn't pledge?
My undergraduate, probably because I pledged right before I graduated. It was some shady things that kind of went on with the sorority on campus, so I ended up pledging right like my senior year of undergraduate school.
So how many are you single?
I am single.
You are single?
I am.
So it got to be kind of difficult, like being a doctor, and
Because these niggas be intimidated.
I'm about to say they that's where I was going. I was about to say, because the first thing a man, if you say you're a doctor, it's either, oh, she got a bad, let me talk to her, or she got a bad, let me not talk to her. So it's just
The
like,
struggle is real.
how's that journey been for you?
I'm still single. So
Well, that's
great.
kind of an answer.
Hey, but you know what? We talk about this all the time. Not necessarily in your context, but that's maybe a protection for you.
Yeah.
Because you're so professional in your career, it kind of weeds out the bullcorn.
That's true.
If you know you can't be weak-hearted or you can't not have good intentions because you're busy, you got all this stuff going on, and it may be good that you don't date like that because you're gonna catch the riffraff otherwise.
Right.
So everything comes in time.
Thank you.
So even with school and things like that, like going back to this is my thing. So please don't take offense to me.
Okay.
How old are you?
I'm 39.
See, listen, this is what I tell people all the time. If I ask you how old, it's because I know you're older than me, and you still look good.
Oh, thank
So
you.
if I could look at you and be like, yeah, I know she's 67 plus. How old is she? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If I'm confused and I'm like how old is she? That means you look good.
Oh, thank you.
But even this is why we gonna get deep.
Okay.
We gonna
No emotions.
no emotions.
Okay.
But even like you say, like being 39, being a doctor, having yourself together in areas of your life, Christian woman that you did speak on that also. Do you feel like it's kind of a time window as far as dating for you?
Not so much dating. It's a time window if I really wanted to have a family with kids. I think for me to have kids, I do think it's some type of a time. But I'm still hopeful.
Nah, I asked that question because we were talking on some earlier podcasts, and I tell people, well, I wasn't telling people, was telling them on the earlier podcast that we were having, that I feel like even in my generation, a lot of women have that dating window or that lifestyle window of at 23 I'm gonna be this, 24 I should be having my man already, 25 I have kids, at 20, you know what I mean? And it's kind of like you are still a success story, but it's not that perfect life as I'm a doctor, I have kids, I'm married already. So even with that, like, how has that journey been, like growing within yourself? But like I say, like I say a lot of times on the podcast, a lot of people run from that single stage because it's lonely. And there's no Christmas presents, no Valentine, vacations, no, you know what I mean? So even with that, even though you're in your career, like, do you have those moments where it's like, all right, now what's up?
All the time, because I have like several groups of friends, and I find myself in each group, I'm the one that's either not married, everybody in this group married, or I'm in this group, everybody got kids, and I'm that one that does not. So in all of my friend groups, I feel like I'm that one. Yeah. Which is not always a bad thing, but I do think about that. It's times when I kind of get sad about stuff like that, but I try to stay on the positive tip as much as I can.
Well, let me help you out with that. Yeah. Out of all those friends, how many are truly happy?
That's true too.
No. We asking a question.
Okay.
So you got to answer.
Okay.
So
I mean, because just like you said, a lot of times people do stuff for the wrong reason. So how many of those people, like he said, were on that personal timeline and felt like it was just time, that this is what's expected, and they did it, but ain't nobody into nobody. They just together. That's why the divorce rate is so high. So I admire somebody who's able to slow it down and just let stuff come to them.
That's why I'm asking two at the same time, because it's just like you are a doctor.
Yeah.
You are a beautiful female.
Thank you.
So it's like, to my estimate, it'll be easier for you to just walk in the room and just be like, hey, you, how you doing? I'm such and such. Like, what's up? You know what I mean? Because a lot of men will be attracted to you. But even on the back end of showing that you have patience, like you want to get it right, you know, and the perfect mindset, not even just necessarily the perfect guy, but that perfect moment or that perfect partner, whatever the case may be. Like, that's why I was asking, because it's okay to take your time. Like, it's no rush at all. So can you expound on that for me?
I am trying to take my time. I do have friends that were married, had made it. I see them with kids and barely can take care of them. So I am fortunate in my singleness as well. I really don't know how to answer your question though.
Nah, you good. You good.
Okay.
No, you good. Nah, that's why I was saying, like, because not the answer I was looking for, but the feel that I was looking for, like I was just saying, how he just told you earlier, is kind of his view, my view. And like, from my view, like I was just saying, it's, I got to be single, I got to sleep, hey, how you doing? Like, I got to sleep alone, hey, you know what I mean? And it's just like on to the next. So it's no patience, no, you know what I mean, the right flow, the right feel, or damn near don't even know what your favorite color is. You know what I mean? And it's like, we in a relationship in the small things. So even like I say, for me, like, it's hard to find a lot of people that are in relationships, truly happily, like, committed relationship, because a lot of the time it's just on to the next.
Because it's expected.
Exactly. But even with that too, like we were talking about too, like, a lot of the problem is men too when it comes to dealing with strong-minded women. Like, I don't know you as, like, personally, but from your resume, like, if I look at your resume and I don't ever put an image with you, I'm like, she got to be somebody. Like, she is either one of the two things. Either you crazy or you trying to get it right. That's them the only two things that could come from this. You either crazy or you really trying to get it right and you're really trying to take your time. So that's what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I get that all the time too. Like, when I meet someone and they're surprised that I am single, they usually are like, oh, well, what's wrong with you?
Like the Halle Berry thing.
Right. some going on.
Yeah. So I get that all the time.
Yeah. That's why I was asking that. Though.
Okay. No problem.
Go ahead.
All right. The single thing.
Okay.
Everything comes in time. You come from a big family?
Big family, like big family. My immediate family is. I have a brother and a sister under me.
What do they do for a living? Are you the successful one?
I am.
So it's hard. Is it hard being the Beyonce of the family?
It is.
That's like your cousin with the. Man, I thought this was a blessing.
Who that?
You remember when I paid her for the
table. Yeah.
Family. When you get your bag, or when they think you got that bag, you become everybody crutch. So
I can say this. My family, they've been a great support system for me. My mom has never asked me for a dime, but I make sure she's taken care of. Yeah. My brother and sister, it's so fun. It was raised in the same household, and we are all totally different. In school, I was always up late studying, making sure I made good grades. I never saw my sister study. And then my brother was like a mixture of both of us. He did enough to get by. Yep. And so we're all totally different. My sister is in the food industry, like service.
She work at McDonald's?
Hey,
that's love. She ain't push that. She's in the food industry.
Right. She is. She's been doing that a long time.
But I'm gonna say this: don't sleep on that, because I know some people. You know, I know a couple guys that work at Walmart. They 6-figure people. Man. If you get in at the right time and you stay long enough. So, you know, that don't mean make you unsuccessful because you work fast food. Yeah. Now, if you still on fries.
If you in Walmart, you need to be climbing up. I mean, if you in McDonald's, you need to be climbing up.
If you still on fries and you 35,
you got to get your hustle up.
But I can understand that. But yeah, it's amazing how you can have the same influences and mentors that somebody else had. And it's just according to how you respond to what you're given. Mm-hmm. Nothing's automatic. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna be successful just because mom and daddy was, or they instill education into you. Everybody not receptive to everything. So
do you find yourself sometimes like being an inspiration to like your immediate family, like the people that's around you?
On purpose, I try to with my siblings. Yeah. I try to set the example. But yeah, I try to encourage any young person that want to go into my field or just want to do better for themselves. So.
What's the bad thing about what you don't like about being a doctor?
Ooh.
It got to be something bad now. It's a good and a bad to every situation.
So, as far as my day-to-day on the job, what I don't like is giving bad news. So when I have to diagnose somebody with macular degeneration and tell them that they're losing their vision, that we cannot get back. Like, I hate being the bad.
You said mitochondria.
Man, you saw this roll off a tongue.
You feel me? That's what I'm saying.
I said macular degeneration.
Joy, say that word right now.
Macular
degeneration. No.
What she said.
That's why I said. You said mitochondria. That's all. That's all I know.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, really. Yeah. But I do get joy when I can help somebody see, and especially a kid that can now see leaves on trees with that they couldn't distinguish before. Yeah. Or when someone comes in with metal in their eye and I can take it out and they feel better immediately. I like stuff like that.
So you like real doctor?
Yeah.
This nigga said you a real doctor.
You feel me? Like you ain't play. You on Grey's Anatomy, huh?
No.
You can be on Grey's Anatomy though. That's two different things.
Yeah, that's too much.
But if they had like a Grey's Anatomy with like eye doctors, you could
possibly
be on that. Yeah. We're gonna call this No Emotions Anatomy.
Oh.
Yeah. They don't know nothing about that right here. But no, I can tell like that you a happy-go-lucky person, so I can see you like kind of shying away from like bad news or telling people that. I know that can be, especially like with somebody with a good heart. I know that can be like terrible and devastating, especially like for you. So when I'm getting to that, I'm asking you, how do you deal with that? Like, how do you say, man, I really had to tell 4 patients today that they got X or you know what I mean, whatever the case may be. So like mentally as a people's person, like what does that do for your mental at home?
It definitely takes a toll. I try not to bring work home, but that when I have to deliver bad news, that does take a toll. I do have a colleague that we're like each other's cheerleaders, so I usually dial her
Okay.
and tell about my day, and she's very encouraging. So
that's a very good idea to do that too. Though I ain't think about that.
So she hear me rant all the time.
Yeah, y'all kind of like lift each other up too, and make sure everybody in good spirits. Yeah, that was up. I think that's important too. Like, especially in the field that they're in, you kind of gotta have that backbone person, because it's gonna be some times where you're quote unquote weak, or you forget that you are a doctor because you simply have a heart. You know what I mean? So you need that tough skin to say, hey, this is what we do. But even as the bearer of the person to say this is what we do, you got to sometimes turn around and say, you remember last week when you told me this what we do? This what we do.
Yeah.
So I could understand that. I could definitely understand that too, because even in my profession, it goes both ways, man. Sometimes it's, even when you think about it, it's guys on the football field that are like, you can have a life, a career-ending injury, a life-threatening injury, and a lot of the times it comes from contact from someone else. So if I'm going to make a routine tackle, I don't want to have you paralyzed for the rest of your life. But we've seen that happen. But even as a guy like who played a sport, who's aggressive, who like to go and hit people in the face and rah, and it's therapy for me and all, I still don't want to hurt nobody. So sometimes when I get up from a hit and somebody's laying there, I'm like, damn, you know what I mean? But I need that teammate to say, bro, that ain't your fault. You know what I mean? So you got to make the next tackle. You know what I mean? So I know it's different careers, but when you make that statement, I know exactly what you're talking about. I see exactly what you're talking about.
So what's the next chapter for you? I know you work at the I Group. Do you want your own practice, or?
No. If we're being honest, I don't. I get that question all the time, and I feel like if I wanted to open a practice, I could, and I also think that it would be successful. But then when I think about opening a practice, I think, I gotta have these employees, and now I'm responsible for them and their families, and I don't know if I want that type of responsibility. And where I am is actually, it was my dream position or dream setting. I always wanted to be in a group practice with ophthalmologists and optometrists. And
so what's the difference?
What's the difference? Ophthalmologists, they do surgeries. I don't. I'm an optometrist. Okay. So that's basically the difference. They go to medical school first, and then they do their training in eye stuff. And then I went to optometry school, which was all eye stuff, and a little bit of medical.
That shows she's a good person. Because me personally, I need to go, first of all, where the biggest bag is. And second of all, I would want to have my own practice, but that's just because I'm kind of greedy.
Yeah.
But I can appreciate if you're doing what your purpose is. Yeah. You don't have to be responsible for certain things. Yeah. And that's cool, for real. Like, for real. She
feel like, why she gonna put all that extra task on herself?
Yeah, but see,
that's more on your plate, huh?
But you understand how she spent it. She said because she don't want the other families to be responsible for her.
Yeah.
So that was the way of quietly or respectfully saying that it's too much pressure when I can get the same money without doing
none of that.
Yeah, so I respect that.
Okay.
So you're a little lazy, huh?
No, I am not. I work hard.
Nah, I'm just joking with you. Joy, let's pay this last bill, man.
Go ahead. Let's do it. right, we're back. We appreciate that sponsor. Keep them coming. If you would like to be sponsored on the show and sponsor a full 15-minute portion, you can reach us at
noemotionsmedia@gmail.com. Hey, I'm tired of being the email guy. Let's get that out the way.
Hey man, everybody got a role.
If you are interested in being a sponsor or you just want to give us feedback about the show, please don't hesitate to reach us at noemotionsmedia@gmail.com. This man is crazy.
Dr. Kid.
Yeah.
In one of our past, actually, was it 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago.
We actually had a letter that we read, and we had talked the week before that about single mothers and how they're rare and how well, they're not rare. There's plenty of single mothers. There's not many good guys out there for the single mothers to, couple with, so to speak. And one of our callers, it wasn't a caller, one of our patrons.
Start off. You starting too much. I'm a topic. You ain't just.
It's no emotion, man.
Yeah, that was saying. Yeah.
Okay. In one of our previous episodes, we had one of our, I don't know what to call it. It ain't no
emailers. And
one
of our viewers emailed us. Just say that.
There you go. Dr. Kid.
Yeah.
In one of our prior episodes, we got a letter from one of our viewers. And the letter talked about how it's hard as a parent, a single mother, to find a suitable male figure for your kids. And it sparked a big discussion. She was offended by what we had said. So my question to you at this point is, would you date a guy with kids?
At this point in life, yes, I would. But for a long time, I wasn't checking for nobody that had kids. But I realized the older I get,
the more common it becomes.
the more common it's going to be.
See, that's my thing.
A guy to have a kid. The last guy that I had a little interest in was real cute. But he had
let's put that out there.
Real cute.
So whatever your name is, if you watching this podcast, you might got a little chin. I don't know what you did, but you gotta fix it. You got a little shit. Real cute. How, do it one more time for me.
Real cute.
It's the head. It's the head drop.
He had a son, and I kind of had to reevaluate. I was like, well, this might can work, but I had to just change my perspective because he did have a son. And then I really liked the son. So in my head, I was like, oh.
Did the son have more sense than the dad? Did the son have more sense than the dad did?
Yeah, in the end. That's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. But yeah, I had to change my perspective. And then at the same time, I was thinking, well, I'm getting older. He already got a kid. That's a family. If we got together, I might not have to push none out. Yeah. So it was almost about to be a win-win, but it didn't go nowhere.
See, from that episode too, though, like I've been getting a lot of feedback from it within myself. Really, because I was the one that made the statement, and I was just using the instance of me personally. I'm not ready to, you know what I mean, be a stepfather. But I was actually shocked about
how passionate they was about it.
No, not even just that. About how many women, like, were saying, like, "Boy, I feel you."
Oh yeah. And
I was like,
they ain't want to be stepdaddies either.
You feel me? Like, oh, I was blowed as far as how many women I'm not, like, if a dude got a child, it's over. Like, that's a real deal breaker for a lot of women. Yeah. So that's why I was really interested in hearing your point of view.
Yeah, I've changed my perspective with age. It was one other time, too, I went out on this date with this guy, and he had a daughter. And he used to try to push her on me. Like, I'm like, dude, I was too young for that.
He want a babysitter.
Like,
you said he want a babysitter.
Right.
He want a babysitter.
Yeah, I was like, exit. So yeah.
That was but yeah, that's interesting. That's always interesting to see from a different perspective. Because like for us, it's always not always coming, but it's more coming. That's really why the viewer wrote the letter, because it's more coming for a woman to be in that situation and a man to be the one that turned it down. But it's crazy to know that there's even women that feel the same exact way. So that's why I was saying, like, it was kind of dope, honestly, in a weird way. Like, it's kind of weird to say that that's dope, but I'm like, now you kind of feel like me. That what's
I
up?
don't like them road rat either.
I can't deal with them. But to each his own, though. But I do feel like with maturity, though, I think I'll grow out of it. But I just feel like that way now because I know I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah.
And what we talked about doing that same podcast, I was saying that's what the protection thing came out. If a woman, if you're upfront with her and you tell her that she's not interested in kids, that's protection for her, so she can move on with her life. If she got to have somebody to help her with them kids, just tell her friend that that ain't what you're interested in, and keep it moving. Right. So we kind of established that now. I knew he was gonna get some feedback, but it is what it is.
But as a woman in your shoes, getting to know you, how does someone catch your eye?
Ooh, it's really simple.
She said, "Ooh,
ooh." It's really simple. I feel like I'm easy to please. Really, I'm not. Even though you referred to me as, did you call me bougie at the beginning of this?
I mean,
podcast?
you are AKA. It's kind of like that's it's just like me when you said athlete or he a dog. That's what women think. It comes with the title.
But I'm really easygoing. It really don't take much to get my attention. Really, just be nice, laugh, and feed me. That's it.
So it gotta be something else to it though. Because if it was that simple, you would be in a relationship.
I gotta help out. You asked what catches her eye. You asked what to keep her.
Yeah.
So she told you to catch my eye. You gotta do this.
Now, Doc, we've been good. Don't get on the bad side now, Doc.
But I really would like somebody that's secure in their career, just like
somebody to match you. Yeah, it's popular.
But
it's okay.
But I mean, they don't have to be a doctor. Nope. Long as they're working in their purpose and they're happy and bring it in a bag.
So let me ask you this: you mentioned somebody in the food industry. Would you date somebody that worked at McDonald's?
Ooh.
Honestly. And you're not wrong if you say you wouldn't, because you put in a lot of work to get to be who you are. Is there a limit? If we got I'm not over talking you, but we got a guy like literally that comes and takes our garbage can. Brittany give him water every time he comes in. If he asks you out, would you consider it?
Ooh, I probably would consider it. I be giving people a chance.
I think she lying.
No, I really do.
I think she lying, Joe.
I would give them a chance. Now I ain't gonna say it's gonna.
But she would.
I'll give them one chance.
Listen. I'm saying no. This my problem with that situation right now. See, now we finna have a conversation.
That's what we're supposed to do.
Okay.
This my problem with that situation. She just said, "Okay, yeah, he'll have a chance." But I'm just from her saying that right now, he ain't got the same leash that Dr. Anderson got. Dr. Anderson can mess up one time and don't open the door. Garbage can man don't open that door. He ain't coming back. I can tell that right now.
Is there truth to that? I mean, you're not wrong. Is there truth to that? He gotta be on P's and Q's.
He not coming back, Joy.
Okay, it is what it is.
I'm telling you, but I'm gonna tell you how I know.
Whatever.
them things right there. No, let me do it. How you do it the right way for me? How you do it? Look, yeah, though. She right there pop. But I'm AKA. It's hard, bro.
It really is not.
Now you know you're gonna get all the letters from the AKA.
I don't care. And guess what? I ain't got number time. I write all on right back
until what, the 15th,
the 10th, the 9th.
Then they better catch you.
And then catch me in November. What did Raw Wave say? I'm going to November.
Yeah,
you gotta catch me in November then. But nah, man, that's why I say, like, even from school, bro, it's hard. Them AKA, bro, they hard, bro. And I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's online. And them, no disrespect.
Okay.
It be some of the bad ones too. Not bad in a good way. like you don't even supposed to be acting. Now you know you don't supposed to be acting like that. Yeah. Like, why you carrying yourself like that? Now, respectfully, you gotta stand for something. You're a woman, but reality gotta be reality sometimes. See, you can, girl, look.
What?
throw your frog up, put your pink up, all that, cause you different.
Okay.
You look good.
She represent.
She represent. You know what I mean? I told her when she came in, she sat on the couch like she sat on the bed of somebody she just met the first time. You see, look, you ain't pay attention to all that. They put them shoulders up like this, bro. Ooh, they put them shoulders up and put them hands in that lap. You ain't finna get nothing on them out of them for the rest of the day. They owe it. She know I ain't lying though. That's why she laughing.
So it's a handbook you take where they got this written down.
Come on, George.
Like the 48 Laws of Power. They got the 48 Laws of AKAism.
Listen, you know how women say a lot of men act alike, and a lot of men say a lot of women act alike. All AKAs act alike. All of them. All of them act alike, Joe.
What's Founders Year for y'all?
19.
I know it. See, I this how I'm gonna make a man right here. Them deltas, oh, you gonna chill with them, Joe. Joe, you get you a delta, Joe.
You finna get hit.
Well, I think that concludes ours.
Thank you so much. The end. Thank you so much for having me.
That's how you get them right now. You see how I know
that's their nemesis.
Bro, that's like Vying and Blunt.
Yeah.
Alabama and Auburn.
Who was your rivals in high school?
In high school, the Hornets, I think.
And what was y'all?
The Jackets.
That's like the Jackets and the Hornets.
Right. They beefing over that. They beefing.
Both of them bees.
And then I came to find out the other day that the AKAs come from the Deltas.
Incorrect.
The Deltas come from the AKAs.
Is that correct?
So it was some.
Semi.
So he know what you're talking about? Okay.
Come on.
Well, hey, we got a.
Come on.
We got a card, can't remember here.
They say, correct me if I'm wrong, the Deltas came from the AKAs. If I'm not mistaken, it was some AKAs that got mad or something. And they went and did their own thing. Mm-hmm. So when it all come down to it, all y'all sisters, all y'all stand for the same that same little posture that they went and taught the Reds the same thing.
No comment, but there is a film coming out next week. No, the second week in April. It's called 20 Pearls, and it's the history of the sorority. And it talks about that. I watched a private premiere.
She watched a private.
What? She flexing she been flexing since she got on the show. And it's so effortless though. That's just how you pop. See, I know what I'm talking about though. You didn't think I knew what I was talking about. I'm telling you, man. I know I pay attention. But no, I like y'all though.
Okay.
Y'all good. I just had to pull your card a little bit.
Okay. Who's the male counterpart?
Alphas.
I don't like them niggas right
now. You don't like alphas? See, if I were the players though, I was gonna be. A lot of people think like I would have been a Q, cause like my build and I was gonna be a Kappa though. I would have guessed Kappa. Why you would have guessed that?
Just the way you act.
You the first person that I ever met in my life to say that. Really? You don't know. It's because you don't know me though.
Oh, okay. That could be true.
You know Davis boy. This Davis boy right now. Okay. No. Rewind that. You know Deshaun.
Oh, okay.
This Deshaun.
Okay.
See now Davis boy.
He Q-ish.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's very. You said what, Joe?
Q-ish.
He's very Q-ish. Now my pops are Kappa though. So he went to Alabama State. I would have had to like. That's my dog. Shout out to my pops. I know he tuned in anyway. But now like my pops are Kappa, so I would have been.
Oh, okay.
Everybody would have been blowed.
Oh, okay.
It would have been a crazy little thing, but I just never got into it. But to each his own. It's beneficial for a lot of people though.
Yeah, I mean the only thing about the fraternity and sorority life at this point is kind of, in my personal opinion, it's the purpose that it served is kind of dying out a little bit. And what I mean by that is because of social media and the way the world is set up right now, you have access to so much stuff outside your network. Yeah. Your network is global at this point.
Right.
So even though the tradition is there, it appears to me that it doesn't serve the same. It's not as important because you're gonna network with who you network with. It's like even in gang culture, the Bloods and the Crips work together these days.
Yeah.
You know, you got rappers. Used to be you couldn't have a Crip on a.
Yeah,
on a
I might
Blood
say
label.
you thought you'll never see that. Now they tying flags.
Yeah, so it's times is just different.
Yeah.
But you know, you got purists that hold on to tradition, so it serves a purpose.
Dr. Kid, we do thank you for spending your precious time with us.
Thank you so much for having
one
me.
last question. We kind of do this with everybody. You got to tell us about your music. What you got in your headphones in your car right now? What are you listening to?
I like Lettucey.
Okay.
I'm trying to get into the neo soul type stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. She gonna say 3 good ones. The last one will be Ratchet Watch. Go ahead. What's the last one?
What?
Let's see who else. Give me 3.
Oh, give you 3. Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Of course. Gotta have
Now,
Queen.
one ratchet one. You got somebody ratchet that you listen to. Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
Look. You fell right into his trap. He was hoping you said not a ratchet artist. He was hoping you said Jasmine Sullivan.
That's the most ratchet I did right now. She want cash out. She want.
Ever since he heard Jasmine Sullivan tape, he always talking about some cash out for sex.
That's what she said. But it is what it is.
Miss Kidd, I'ma spare you.
Thank you so much.
I'm gonna get you out of here because if when he asking you that question right there, he about to put you back on the grill.
Okay.
And he ain't gonna.
Please, thank you for saving me.
But this has been another episode of No Emotions. From the gang, I am Deshaun Davis.
And I am Jacob Palmer.
And
we're out.
we are out.